Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I'm Christine Lisi. Doesn't look like the Celtics will have forward Jason Tatum on the floor for Game 2 of their NBA first-round playoff series tonight. He's doubtful against the Magic with a bone bruise in his right wrist. Boston's up 1-0. A little more than 24 hours away from the start of the NFL draft, and one of the biggest questions remains, where will quarterback Shadur Sanders, who's received a great deal of criticism, be drafted? The Steelers would be ideal for him. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum.
Shadur Sanders is a really good quarterback. I think he could come in and start right away. And if I'm Pittsburgh, Jay, I'm in a must-get quarterback mode, because if you're the Steelers, you have to come out of tomorrow night with a quarterback of your future, because you're really out of options beyond Mason Rudolph.
Steelers have the 21st pick. Rudolph and Skylar Thompson are the only QBs currently on Pittsburgh's roster. Freshman C.J. Carr and sophomore Kenny Minchey will compete for the starting quarterback job at Notre Dame this summer. Cincinnati transfer Dylan Mitchell's committed to St. John's, adds valuable front court depth for the Red Storm with his versatility and two-way ability.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Thursday. It's draft day, and I'll tell you exactly what teams should do if they want to win in 2025. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Hey, hey,
it's hump day.
Hey, hump day.
Mike.
Hump
What day is it, Mike?
Hump day.
Hump day.
One day from draft day.
It's hump day.
Mickey Loomis out there meeting the media.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Oh, gum smacking Mick.
Hump day.
Out of bed.
It's hump day.
Staring down the barrel of the gun.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Taking those questions head on.
Hump day.
Dodging them like a coward.
It's hump day.
Nailed it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Josh Edwards in 30 minutes.
Hump day.
Chris Demouy next hour.
It's hump day.
Oh, LSU baseball got run-ruled by Northwestern State.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What are we doing? Oh, man. I'm fired up for today. We got a lot to do. Let's get cranked up here today. Thanks for being with us. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
We are on the eve eve of the NFL draft, one of the greatest days on the NFL calendar, and nary a snap will be taken. But it is customary on the day before the NFL draft that general managers always have their pre-draft press conference. Now, I, for one, personally think this is a foolish exercise. You go through months and months and months and months of pro days and senior bowls and combine and talent evals and one-on-one top 30 visits, and you do medicals and combines and everything, and you get your draft board and you have your strategy and you make preliminary phone calls about trades and you put together your entire draft strategy, and the day before the draft they're like, let's have a press conference so you can tell everybody what you're going to do. Who's going to say anything? Ain't nobody going to say anything. They never do in the pre-draft press conference. Only after the draft do you actually start to get some answers. But here's an opportunity for our good friend Gumsmackin' Mick to go stand there in front of a microphone and cameras, which he is yet to do for more than a week now since the Derek Carr injury news first surfaced. And mum has been the word from everybody within the Saints organization and, of course, from Derek Carr, except for when he's doing his Carr reviews. Dynamite job, by the way, reviewing a $500,000 Rolls Royce, you freaking dope. While everyone's sitting there wondering if you're ever going to play again, you're out there doing a car review on anyway, let me not go down that path. Naturally, in his opening statement, Gumsmackin' Mick decided, let's go ahead and get ahead of the question. And in the opening statement of the pre-draft press conference, Mick would address Derek Carr.
Yeah, look, appreciate y'all being here. I understand that you've got a lot of questions about the draft, but first I want to hopefully answer the questions about Derek Carr. He does have an issue with his shoulder. We're hoping to get some resolution and clarity on that in the near future, and when we do, I'll report back to you. Otherwise, I don't have anything more to state about Derek, but I'm open to any pre-draft questions that you might have.
Okay. You might imagine that a good reporter, their job is to ask necessary questions. And there are an abundance of questions about Derek Carr. Namely, look, the first one out the chute was about the nature of the injury.
Yeah, I'm just not going to answer any more questions about Derek. I mean, this is a pre-draft. If you have questions about the draft, then I'm more than happy to answer those. But in terms of the roster and Derek, I'm not going to answer any more questions about that today.
By the way, shout out to Andre Johnson on Twitter, who did a mashup of Mickey Loomis his answer every time he was asked about Derek Carr. This is shades of Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so don't get fined. This is 57 seconds. This is nearly a minute straight of nothing but Gumsmackin' Mick, like with a shield, just playing defense against every single Derek Carr question. Here you go.
Hopefully answer the questions about Derek Carr. He does have an issue with his shoulder. We're hoping to get some resolution and clarity on that in the near future, and when we do, I'll report back to you. Otherwise, I don't have anything more to state about Derek, but I'm open to any pre-draft questions that you might have. I'm just not going to answer any more questions about Derek. I mean, this is a pre-draft. If you have questions about the draft, then I'm more than happy to answer those. But yeah, again, I'm not going to answer any questions about Derek at this time. Yeah, again, this is a pre-draft press conference. I'm not going to answer any questions like that. We got a lot of time between now and the season. Do you want me to say that I'm not going to answer that right now, or do you want me to wait after your question? Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing here. This is for a pre-draft press conference. It's not for those questions.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So this was if you got it there, according to Mickey Letts, 57 straight seconds. By the way, come on, Andre. Help your boy out. Mono, not stereo. Like, what are we doing? So that's why you only heard it in one channel, or some of you didn't hear it at all. Anyway, come on. Help your boy out. Anyway, 57 seconds of Mick not answering anything about the draft. I'm sorry, about Carr. 57 seconds mashed up of Mickey Loomis refusing to answer questions about Carr because this is a pre-draft press conference. He's there to answer questions about the draft, right? That's why he's there. Oh, but he had enough time to answer a question about Chris Alave and Trevor Penning's fifth-year option.
Actually, I'll give you that. Here's the carrot. So we are going to exercise the option on Chris, and we're not going to exercise the option on Trevor, but that doesn't mean we don't love Trevor and expect him to be part of our team going forward.
Hey, Muse, are Chris Alave and Trevor Penning part of this year's draft?
No, they're not.
Well, but I thought this was a press conference where you were just talking about the draft.
That is what he said, yeah.
Not a press conference where you're talking about the roster and Derek Carr and other. This is a pre-draft press conference where if you have questions about the draft, you ask questions about the draft, right?
That is what Mick said, yep.
And he's only answering questions about the draft, right?
That's what he said. Only the draft.
And Chris Alave and Trevor Penning are not involved in this draft?
Correct.
But he answered a question about them?
Yes.
So it's not only a pre-draft press conference where you answer a question about the draft?
The evidence would support that.
Oh, okay. Yo, if you blindly accept this is a pre-draft press conference and we're only accepting questions about the draft, then tomorrow after the first round, when somebody inevitably will ask Mickey Loomis, the general manager of this professional sports franchise, about Derek Carr, he's going to say, this is a post-first round draft press conference. I'm only here to answer questions about the first round of the draft. And then the next time after the second day of the draft and the third day of the draft, it's a post-draft press conference. We're only here to answer questions about the draft. And then what's going to happen is when you get to OTAs or training camp or anything, it's going to be, this is about practice. Like, that is his deflection he can use forever. But the bottom line is everything about your roster, salary cap, future of the franchise, what you do in this draft is all contingent upon Derek Carr. All of it. How he hits your salary cap, if he's available to play for the full season, for partial season, for training camp. Is he going to be on the team this year? Will he be on the team in 26? Every single decision you make is intimately interwoven with Derek Carr's situation. You can't functionally move forward as an organization without answers about Derek Carr. And you can't even answer a question about when you knew Derek Carr had an injury, how severe it is, what the process is about getting a evaluation, and if he's going to have surgery, and does that impact your approach in this draft for quarterback. You can't even give a throwaway answer. You just deflect everything. Y'all, this continues to be an illustration of how entitled, how much of a made man he is, about how much he completely and totally lacks any degree of accountability for everything that happens in this organization right now. The general manager, the person responsible for every personnel decision, is refusing to answer questions about your $150 million quarterback, who it's been reported is going to have shoulder surgery and be done for the year, which may very well end his career in New Orleans, and gum-smacking Mick can't answer a question about it because it's a pre-draft press conference. Oh, but he'll answer a question about the fifth-year option for Chris Alave and Trevor Penning. So apparently it's not just a pre-draft press conference, Mick. It's that you're not prepared to answer the obvious question that everyone needs answered because you screwed the pooch. You stepped in a big old pile of cow dung. Not even dog poop. It's one of those big cow poop patties. You know what I mean? You ever been in a field? I used to play baseball out at MBS, and behind there, somebody owned land, and there were cows back there, and you'd hit home runs, and we'd have to jump the fence to go get the ball. But you had to look out because, brother, there's landmines. I'm not even talking about, like, Great Dane poop landmines. I mean these patties that were like flying saucers. That's how big the cow, that's what Mick has stepped in here now. When you give Derek Carr a $150 million contract, and then you restructure him twice, continuing to handicap your salary cap, attaching yourself to Derek Carr, his mascara-wearing, shoulder-injuring, teammate-blaming, car reviewing on YouTube ass. And you ain't got nothing to say about it because you don't have to, because Grandma Gail's just going to let you keep on. Mick, you did a great job in that press conference. Hey, did Ellen Moore join you, Mick?
Ellen Moore.
Was Ellen there?
Ellen Moore.
Is your house on fire, Clark? Is Rusty still in the Navy clock? Play it again, Muse.
Ellen Moore.
Don't push me down, clock.
Ellen Moore.
I swear to God, they're the Griswolds. Like, that's what this is. You got Aunt Bethany running the team. And cousin Eddie. That's what this is. But at least Cousin Eddie's heart is bigger than his head. I can't say that that's the truth with Gumsmack and Mick. Ellen Moore.
Ellen Moore.
All right, it's after further review. Someone who might have some competency regarding the draft is Josh Edwards. We'll talk to him in about 15 minutes. Next, we'll get to talk about LSU getting run-ruled in a midweek game by Northwestern State, where your head coach decided to take your All-American first baseman and play him at third base. What a great start to this show. Let's keep it rolling. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
After further review.
I am sweating right now. You know what would be awesome? To go jump into my pool. And you could do the same if you hire Duplessis Builders to build your pool. From the first time I ever met Derek Duplessis, we sat down, me, him, my buddy Luke Betts. We had lunch together, got a great vibe about him. The thing that is undeniable when you meet Derek Duplessis is integrity. When I tell you he's got a 10-year workmanship warranty because they don't cut corners. Like, every step of the planning, from the dig to when they spray the concrete or the gunite, like, it takes 2 weeks for concrete to cure. So they will not move on to tiling and coping for 2 weeks because they want it to cure properly so it will last. It's not about getting it done as quickly as possible to get on to the next. It's about making sure you have something you love that will last. It's DuplessisBuilders.net. Go to the website, hit your book at the top of the homepage, and you'll see their entire process. DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wildin'.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
The 0-1 ground ball knocked down by the third baseman Rocco, and he'll throw over. Gump makes the play, and the Demons have run-ruled the Tigers of LSU in 7 innings tonight, 13-3.
Not a good game across the board. Pitching, defense, offense, coaching, the whole thing.
Yep. LSU got run ruled by Northwestern State. Back in 1893, LSU played its first ever athletic event. The baseball team played Tulane. 1893, first ever LSU athletic. University was founded in 1860. First ever athletic event, LSU Tulane baseball, 1893. When you've been around since 1893, that's 132 years. Hashtag math. Yeah. I did that right, didn't I? 25 and 7 is 32.
You're asking me?
25 and 7 is 32. 132 years. Yeah. When you've been around that long and you do something for the first time, brother, you accomplish something. And Tuesday night, when LSU got run ruled by Northwestern State, that was the first time in the history of the program that LSU got run ruled on its own field in the midweek game by an in-state opponent. First time ever. How about that? Bam! It started good. Jay Newt went out there, retired the side in order in the first. Derek Curriell. Got that call, Muse? Derek Curriell. This is the first pitch of the game that an LSU hit. First pitch of the game that an LSU hitter saw.
First pitch to Curriell. He will swing, and it is high and deep to right center field, giving chase, but they will just watch it. Curriell with a first pitch, leadoff home run to right center. And the Tigers take a 1-0 lead.
I mean, he hit the crap out of it. Went 4-16. Second pitch of the second inning. By the way, Newt walked a guy in the second, but other than that, got out of it. Retired 7 of the first 8 hitters he faced. Struck out 3. The only guy that got on was a walk. Second pitch of the second inning, Josh Pearson.
Robinson's 1-0 pitch. Pearson swings high in the air to left field. Valentine going back to the track, to the wall, and Pearson deposited in the left field landing for the home run.
357 feet. Went 100 miles an hour off the bat. Up to 0. Newt gets the first guy in the third, and you're going, one of those nights. Then the lightning came. An hour and 33 minutes. They come back out onto the field. Cooper Williams has the honors. And he hits a guy, gives up a 2 RBI single. The game is tied. And then, my goodness, did everything fall apart. They go get Connor Benj. He promptly gives up a 3-run homer, then gets a strikeout, hits a guy. They steal second. Aaron Beatty throws the ball into center field. They tap one to Ward Jones at third. Fielding error. Run scores, and you finally get out of it. You blink, you're down 6-2. Jones commits another error in the fourth. Another run comes home. It never got any better than that. You walked 4. You hit 4. You uncorked 2 wild pitches. Nobody seemed to care to be there at all. And the icing on the cake, I would give you another cow dung analogy, but I'll spare you, was Jay Johnson's decision to start Jared Jones at third base. We've seen Jones play third. There have been late game substitutions. It happened Saturday against Alabama. You had a DH situation where you had to shuffle things around, so Brown went to first and Jones kicked over to third. Actually made a really nice play on a bunt by Brady Neal. But Jay Johnson decided to give Jared Jones a start at third base. And I know what he's doing. I know good and well what he's doing. Jay knows the thing that I, and I'm a bald-headed, loudmouth idiot who don't know nothing about nothing. They just gave me a microphone, probably because I yell and sweat a lot, and people, it's like, hey, look at the clown in the cage. I get it. But I've been sitting there screaming since the beginning of the season, Jake Brown's one of your best players. He's one of your best 9. He needs to be in the lineup every single day. And Jay gets it now. I mean, Jake Brown's hitting over 300 in conference, but you got 3 guys hitting over 300 in conference play. Well, actually 4 if you include Braswell, who's just not an everyday guy right now. But among your everydayers, you've got Chris Stanfield, Derek Curiel, and Jake Brown. Meanwhile, Josh Pearson's hitting 220. Ethan Fry's at 240. So I get it. Jay's trying to do the thing he should have done all along, which is get Jake Brown in the lineup every day. So he's like, how do I get Fry, Brown, and Pearson all in the lineup? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll take my All-American first baseman, and I'll put him at third, a position he's never played. Came to LSU as a catcher, been a DH and a first baseman during his time, and now we're going to do that. There's some fella on Twitter who was like, Scout, it's a midweek game against Northwestern State. When else would you try it? Oh, I don't know. Fall ball? That's when you try it. In the fall. Not in April. A couple of days before you play Tennessee. You want to get a young guy some run? You want to start Cade Arambidi on a Tuesday to keep getting him reps? Cool. The only reason, I even swore I wasn't going to yell. I was walking down here, Muse, and I was like, I'm just not going to yell. I'm going to take it easy. But see, that happens to me. I get on a roll, and I can't.
You fixed it, though. I mean, you brought it back quickly. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Deep breath.
The only reason that Jay Johnson tried this is because he thought, oh, I got an idea. Maybe Jared Jones could be my starting third baseman for the stretch run. You know who that's an insult to? Everybody that has ever played third base in the history of baseball. You're going to take your 6'4", 250-pound, power-hitting first baseman that they call Bear, and in a collegiate competitive game, move him to third thinking, oh, that's going to be my answer with Tennessee, A&M, Arkansas coming up. I'm going to have Jones, who's never played third, never started a game at third, go play third because that's going to be my solution. I felt bad for Jared Jones. This was Will Helmers all over again when Paul Maneri stuck him there. The difference is that was the opening weekend of the season. This is a few days before you play Tennessee at the end of April in Jones's junior season. Jay Johnson, after the game, talked about the decision to move Jared Jones to third base.
Yeah, it's an awful game collectively. And our defense did not help it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm the one that writes the lineup, so that's I'll take the responsibility for that.
Yes, you will. You will take the responsibility for that. And hopefully you will never, not only will you never do that again, hopefully you'll never even let the thought enter your brain to consider doing that again. That's an indefensible decision. There's a guy on Twitter last night when all that was happening who's like, well, what about Paul Maneri's decision to insert or Austin Nola at short? Okay, yeah. You mean the guy who was one of the top shortstops in the country? Putting him at shortstop? Yeah, that actually made a lot of sense. You were sacrificing a bat for an elite glove, but you knew you had an elite glove and you were looking for defense. That's not what you're doing here. I don't care that they lost the game. It doesn't cost you anything. Your non-conference schedule, strength of schedule is like 235. But in spite of that, you still got a top 15 RPI. I actually didn't check it after the game last night. It's probably where are they, 13? 12?
12.
12.
One spot behind Tennessee, as a matter of fact.
Awesome. There we go. 12 in the RPI despite losing to Northwestern. It didn't cost, this doesn't cost you anything. We say it all the time. The result of these midweek, it doesn't matter. Yes, you want to play well and all that stuff, but it's not going to losing that game doesn't cost you anything. You got to play better. You got to throw strikes. You got to hit the baseball, and you got to do it now because you got Tennessee, at A&M, Arkansas ahead. These next 9 league games are going to determine if your path to the College World Series runs through Baton Rouge, or if you have to travel. So get your head out of your T-Heine, go play like you can, and try to win this home series against Tennessee. All right, it's after further review. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. Quick break. Josh Edwards, CBS Sports Draft Analyst, is next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark, Downtown Renaissance, Southtown. You know, Renaissance Baton Rouge. Every Renaissance is a unique property. They're not cookie cutter. Like if you go into any Renaissance anywhere in the world, every Renaissance has features unique to that market. So, for example, at the Renaissance Baton Rouge, if you go look behind the front desk, that sculpture is a 2-scale model of the Mississippi River and its tributaries. The carpet is meant to look like crab traps. The light fixtures look like pelicans' eggs that are hatching and flying. Everything about it is, if you go look at the wallpaper in the guest room, it's like a Cajun dictionary. Everything about Renaissance Baton Rouge screams Louisiana. Check it out today. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the 2025 Jeep Compass Sport for only $23,995. $23,995 or 2025 Jeep Compass with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
A little more than 24 hours away from round one of the NFL draft. Saints will draft in the top 10 for the first time since they took Cedric Ellis back in the day. Will they go defensive line again? Kind of looks like it's leaning that way. Josh Edwards, CBS Sports Draft Analyst, good enough to jump aboard with us for a few minutes here. Hey, Josh, we appreciate you, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's crazy that we're just a little more than 24 hours at this point. But I think to come back to a point where we expect the Saints to take an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman just kind of feels right for this time of year.
You tweeted earlier today a few random thoughts this morning, and one of them was Mykel Williams would be such a Saints pick. New Orleans has used 8 of the last 10 first-round picks on an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. Why does Mykel Williams to the Saints make sense at 9?
I think it does. I don't know if it's their biggest need at this particular point in time, but it does make sense in the way that they have always wanted to build their roster. They believe in building through the trenches, so you have to have a strong offensive and defensive line. So if you have a player like Mykel Williams, who's still relatively young, I think his best football is still ahead of him. He was playing at a very high level when he was healthy and available. Coming into the year, he was considered one of the best prospects in this draft class, a potential top, number 1 overall pick. Obviously did not materialize that way, but a young player with a really high floor as a run defender that, could still potentially grow and become a more impactful pass rusher.
Give me a little more analysis on Williams, the player, and how and why he may fit where he does. Why is this guy who maybe the productivity wasn't quite there? Why is he still someone that we're talking about at 9 overall?
Yeah, the productivity wasn't there because he did battle some injuries this year, which cost him some time, but it also meant that he played through those injuries. So I think you got a little bit of a vision into how he views the game of football. I think he's somebody that values the sport. I think he has a passion for the sport. So he kind of checks that intangible box in that way. But at the same time, he's got that prototypical size. He's 6'5", however much he weighed in at the NFL Combine, but just an incredibly thick player that, again, is young. He's somebody that's going to be able to set the edge for you on defense. He's somebody that I think is not the most bendy player, but he is powerful. He's got multiple ways that he can win at the point of attack. So if he continues developing into his body and becomes a more fluid pass rusher, develops more of a pass rush plan, I think you can see him have a similar level of production as what we had seen from Trayvon Walker this past season. And that's kind of what we had seen from these Georgia Bulldogs over the past couple of years. They're not the most impactful pass rushers because it's a unit. They apply pressure as a unit. They do a lot of stunts. They do a lot of games. It's creating opportunities for one another. So now being in New Orleans where he's somebody that, may create opportunities for himself, I think there's a chance for him to see even higher level of production.
Now, I was reading a piece over at CBSSports.com today, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm reading this where you projected still it was where Shadur Sanders would end up, and you still have him number 9 overall to the Saints. You said if not to New Orleans, it gets more difficult to project. It's unknown even if he's the Steelers' quarterback of choice. Do you still feel today, even though all the odds have shifted heavily toward the Saints taking a defensive lineman, do you still feel today that Shadur is where New Orleans is where Shadur lands?
No, and for the longest time, I thought it made sense because with Derek Carr's situation, they did not have a ready-made quarterback option for this upcoming season. So in a way, to me, it felt like they were preparing fans for the possibility of taking Shadur. But as time has passed, gaining more information, hearing from people in the local market, I don't think that that's the most likely outcome at this point. I would be surprised, in fact, if they did take Sanders, which I think in a way is water finding its level, because throughout this process, I've kind of viewed him as like the 20th best player in this draft class. I don't have a first-round grade on him. But in this year's class, where you only have a handful of those blue-chip, all-pro type talents, he's still going to be taken probably in the first 32 picks. So even though he doesn't personally have a first-round grade for me, because it is a premium position, I think it is likely that he goes Thursday night, whether that's the Steelers or a team trades back up into the back end of the first round, potentially the Saints. You can't even rule that out. So I think that's where it becomes more of a possibility at this point.
That would be interesting. By the way, I'm just looking at DraftKings right now. They got Mykel Williams plus 270 favorite to go number 9 to the Saints. Shadur Sanders all the way at plus 1,200. As a matter of fact, Jackson Dart has better odds to go to the Saints at 9 than Shadur does. Where do you fall on Jackson Dart?
Well, it's kind of a microcosm of the entire quarterback group, each of them kind of carries their own red flag. And for Jackson Dart, the intangibles are off the charts. Everybody that has spoken to the kid comes away with a great impression of him. His teammates, his coaches seem to love him. So he's going to have that leadership quality that you look for. At the same time, he comes from this Lane Kiffin offense where it's not a full field read. You know, a lot of times the field is cut in half and he's looking at one side of the field. Now that he's going to be in the NFL, he's going to be working through his progressions. It's just going to be a little bit different. He's going to have to work on his timing, his pacing a little bit, and his dropbacks. So it's more of a timing game in the NFL, and I don't necessarily think that we've seen that from him to this point. I am encouraged that he has the size that you kind of look for at the position. He has good mobility for the quarterback position. He's an accurate passer. I'm not going to take that away from him. So it's just a matter of how quickly he's able to consume this NFL offense, this traditional drop back passing style that we're accustomed to seeing in the league, and just how well he takes to that.
Josh Edwards is with us, CBS Sports Draft Analyst. You get him on Twitter at EdwardsCBS. The report earlier this week, Josh, was that the Saints are likely to go defensive line at 9, but their second-round pick, number 40, they're making calls to move up, presumably to take a quarterback. So what do you think would be a best-case scenario for New Orleans if they were able to move up from 40? What player would be there in a best-case scenario for New Orleans?
Yeah, and I think best-case scenario it would be Shadur Sanders, because I think he is, if you're looking at the Venn diagram, it's the middle section there is capable of playing now, but still has some upside at the position. Jackson Dart, I don't think he's going to be ready to start from day one. And if Derek Carr is not your starting quarterback week one, are you more comfortable with the rookie that you bring in, or Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler? I would like to think that the quarterback they bring in on day 2 or late round 1 is ultimately going to win that battle. And to me, that says that he has to have some level of ready to play now. So if it's not Sanders, do you throw Dart in there and just kind of allow him to learn from his own mistakes as time passes? That's going to be frustrating, but potentially beneficial in the long run. The other player that I think is ready-made to play now would be Tyler Shuck from Louisville. He's somebody that's a little bit of an older prospect. I still struggle with his downfield accuracy at times. He struggles with pressure at his feet, which could be a byproduct of the fact that he's missed a lot of time in his collegiate career because of injuries. So if you're looking for a player to start week 1, which I tend to think that the Saints are probably in that frame of mind, because this is not an organization that has traditionally looked at themselves as being in a rebuild, I would think that Sanders and Shuck may be the best suited to do that.
Josh, if the Saints are a team that the roster is a mess, and quite honestly, they need help everywhere. But we've talked a lot about notably quarterback, defensive line, like what they might do at 9. It seems apparently they will do. But we've had a lot of conversation about getting a big-bodied pass catcher, be it a tight end or a bigger receiver. When I look at the Saints draft capital, after 9 and 40, they're next on the board at 71. So they got 2 threes, 71 and 93 overall. If they're looking for a big-bodied pass catcher there, give me someone on your board that you think would make sense to New Orleans that would be available there early round 3.
I think there's some good options that could potentially be available there. And I'm immediately drawn to Jalen Royals from Utah State and Alec Manor from Stanford. 2 bigger body guys that can win down the field for you. I think Iowa State's Jaden Higgins will probably be gone at that point. You've also got Torrey Horton from Colorado State. So there's going to be some options there potentially for the Saints with those third-round picks to get a little bit of size at the position. I still think, even with all the wind with Mykel Williams there at number 9 overall, I still wonder if Tet McMillan from Arizona might still be under consideration. I don't know if I tweeted this out or not, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the level of certainty that people are speaking with in certain positions right now, because I don't think this is a draft where you can speak with certainty. I think all these big boards are going to vary team by team, and there's going to be a lot of volatility. So I wouldn't put Mykel Williams in ink just yet. But if they do not address the wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, those would be a few names that came to mind for me on round 3.
Before you go, one bold move in round 1. What do you think might be lurking on Thursday? Saints or otherwise, anybody?
Yeah, good question. I know there's a team. There's a couple of teams that want to take a big swing in this draft class. For example, I think the Jaguars want to move up and make a big splash, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So I'm going to say if Ashton Jeanty falls a little bit, the Broncos will trade up to get him. Okay. Otherwise, I don't think they'll have to trade up for Amarian Hampton, the running back from North Carolina. So if for whatever reason the Jaguars and the Raiders pass on Jeanty, then you look at the Saints. They're at number 9 overall, just ahead of the Bears, who would likely take Jeanty as a potential landing spot for the Broncos to come up and get their running back.
Yes, please. Go get Ashton Jeanty far away from New Orleans. Oh, my God. If they take a running back at 9 overall, God help us. Josh Edwards, at Edwards CBS on Twitter. Give him a follow. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much for a few minutes on a busy day.
Of course, anytime.
It's our pleasure. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Remember, we're getting close to graduation season. College grads, South Point Volkswagen offers a $500 bonus for all college grads. So if you're graduating, you buy that new car, think South Point Volkswagen. Yes, you get the great German engineering, style, feel, performance of luxury, the great safety features. But remember, they're manufactured right here in the U.S. of A. at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. All the tariff talk, you don't have to worry about that because it's manufactured here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, supporting American jobs. South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, it is After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. Taylor Calandro will be here to wrap up hour number 1 with a little Bourbon Dictionary. Get your booze questions in. Chris Demouy will be here in 30 minutes. Get his take on the LSU baseball Tigers as they get set for a massive weekend against Tennessee. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Okay, y'all. Clegg's Nursery is there to help beautify your outdoor spaces this spring. Check them out on Facebook. I tell you every single day, whenever they get new shipments in, they immediately post them all on Facebook. This one was 46 minutes ago, the Peggy Martin Rose arrival. The new shipment, by the way, delayed. It'll be now Thursday, so it'll be tomorrow. They'll post ASAP as soon as they get there. It was supposed to be there today, but that just gives you a little more time if you were waiting on it and you weren't sure. The Peggy Martin Roses will be there. The new shipment will be there on Thursday. So we're over at my mom's house for Easter, and she has these beautiful orange roses, some pink roses, some white roses. They have like dozens and dozens and dozen different styles and types and colors over at Clegg's. These beautiful greenhouses that are bursting with blooms and colors. Beautify your outdoor space. Get some color along the pool, your patio pots, your flower beds. It's Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations. Buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Bayou Ford is taking 15 to 20% off all new 2024 models in stock. 15 to 20% off all new 2024 Ford models on our lot. Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station. These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead,
They've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Get your booze questions in. Taylor's here. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. How are you, dude?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
Doing awesome. What's a good bourbon to drink during the NFL draft?
A good bourbon drink during an NFL draft. How about like a Wild Turkey's Master's Keep? I never shout out Wild Turkey on this show, but I love Wild Turkey.
The Master's Keep is fantastic, too. I got a bottle of that a few years ago, and it's awesome. It comes in one of those big boxes that has like the trifold open, really cool display, but it really is fantastic.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, up to you. Go ahead.
No, I lost my train of thought.
All right. What's new?
Before the end of the week, we're going to probably have some old Carter. It's been a while since we got an old Carter release. And maybe, I think, some Larceny Barrel Proof, too. If you haven't had Larceny Barrel Proof, it's fantastic. From batch to batch, it's generally pretty good, too. So check out those before the end of the week, I think. And those are both pretty hard to get to. So
isn't Larceny a wheated bourbon?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think Larceny's good. And that's a relatively affordable one, yeah?
Yeah, the barrel, I can't remember how much the barrel proof is or is going to be.
What about just the standard offering? It's a $35, $40?
Yeah, I mean, it's like $35, $40.
Okay.
And I think the barrel proof is around $80, $90 too. But it's good. Like it's a good, and I like barrel proof. Any barrel proof under $100 is solid to me.
All right, you get your questions in for Taylor. Email us, tweet us, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Oh, so you know this about me. When the weather gets warmer, I kind of switch from the brown water to tequila by the pool. That's kind of my drink. Any new good tequilas worth trying?
Well, we haven't really got any new tequilas that I can think off the top of my head. We did get a new RTD with tequila, ready to drink cans. It's called it's ranch waters, different flavored ranch waters, called Johnny Tejas.
Okay.
We just got those the other day. I haven't tried them yet, but no new tequilas that I can think of that are noteworthy off the top of my head at the moment. But I'm sure, especially when as it gets hotter, we tend to get more releases in tequila.
I got sent this is called Herradura Selección Suprema Extra Añejo.
I love Herradura.
Okay, tell me about it.
And that one, I can't remember how old it is. It's been several years since I had it. That's a fairly expensive bottle too.
Yeah.
Somebody must like you.
Yeah, it was a very, very kind gift that this person sent to me?
It's been years since I've even seen one, so I can't remember how much they retail for, but they're several $100 too.
Yeah.
It's really good tequila. It's really good tequila. I like the regular Herradura shelf stuff, the silver, Repo, Añejo, all their stuff's good, and it's in that premium pricing range with like Patron and stuff like that. But I think it's leaps and bounds better as far as the introductory stuff. But that extra Añejo, I do remember being outstanding.
I can't wait to pop it open. Haven't done it yet, but we'll do it soon. All right,
I need a nip of that.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. You know I got you, of course. Brandon, hey, Taylor, what makes bourbon toasted? I've been seeing more of them lately. Which toasted bourbons do you recommend I try first?
So toasted means that's the char level of the barrel. They have different level of toasted chars. It's just basically extra char on the barrels, and like I said, there's different levels of it. It's become very popular. It's just one of those finishes that tends to go well with a lot of different bourbons. So they'll take it out of the original barrel and then finish it in an extra charred barrel. Sometimes they'll just do it in extra charred.
I ran us up against the clock, so 15 seconds. Best rye for a Sazerac.
Sazerac.
How about a Sazerac? Yeah, Sazerac rye. Works really good in a Sazerac. He's Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Y'all get on by and see him there on Government Street here in Baton Rouge. Thanks, dude. We'll talk next week.
See you, Matt.
All right, man. Be well. It's After Further Review. Our buddy Jeff Marx in studio with us, coming up right after Sports Center. Don't you move.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Celtic star forward Jason Tatum may miss the first playoff game of his NBA career tonight. Listed as doubtful for Game 2 in the first-round series against the Magic with a bone bruise in his right wrist. Even with Tatum hampered, Boston, already up 1-0, can still complete the sweep of Orlando, believes ESPN NBA and New York Knicks analyst Monica McNutt.
And listen, no disrespect to the Orlando Magic. They're a terrific team. They fought their way into the playoffs. But the Celtics are that deep. They still have Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis. Like, there's so much depth for this squad, and they've been playing great basketball consistently all season long. I still think the Celtics can get this done if Tatum's not 100%.
Pelicans hired Wizards consultant Troy Weaver as their new GM, reports ESPN's Mark Spears. Avalanche coach Jared Bednar says there's a good chance Captain Gabriel Landeskog plays in Game 3 of the NHL first-round playoff series versus the Stars tonight, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN. He hasn't played in almost 3 years due to a chronically injured right knee. That series is 1-1. Lions and Chargers meet in the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame game July 31st in Canton, Ohio.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Thursday. It's draft day, and I'll tell you exactly what teams should do if they want to win in 2025. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tompley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Chris Demouy will be here in 15 minutes. Talk a little LSU baseball. Tigers took it on the chin last night. Not great, Bob. 13-3 run ruled by Northwestern State. We'll talk to the former Tiger hurler coming up here in just a little bit. Always enjoy when our good friend Jeff Marx comes in studio. But generally when he does, either has a very good story to tell or a fun event coming up. That happens to be the case here. How are you, sir?
Doing great, Matt. How are you?
I'm having a blasty blast on this Wednesday, the day before the NFL. You big NFL draft guy?
Used to be.
Yeah.
Don't follow it really like I used to. I could say that about a lot of different things in sports.
Yeah.
Just kind of a different time and place for me, but yeah, it's always a fun time.
Well, I'm excited about Sunday because you and I are going to have an opportunity to sort of collaborate on a project with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. I'll turn the floor over to you to explain what the One Book, One Community initiative is.
Well, it's an incredible program, and it's a national program, but here in Baton Rouge, they've been part of it for 19 years. And what they do is each year they pick one selection. They call that their spring One Book, One Community selection. And they spend about 2 months. They want all different types of people to read these books. It's school groups are involved, corporate groups, book clubs, all kind of community organizations. And they reached out to me, it was a little over a year ago, and invited me to be part of it this year and chose the book Season of Life, which was a thrill for me. And it's really been neat to watch the program unfold the last couple months.
I love it. Let's, before we get into what Sunday is going to look like, for those that aren't familiar with Season of Life, you told me, isn't it in its 54th publishing now? All right.
I learned recently from Simon & Schuster, that's the publisher, that they had just hit the go button on the 54th printing in what's now 23 years.
Amazing.
So it's been quite a run. It's been unlike anything else I've been involved with in my publishing world, my little personal journey. And it's been a big part of my adult life because this has been 23 years now on and off. So it's really been a pretty amazing project.
When the book released in the early 2000s, I mean, you and I just talked about this personally over the years, but you traveled and you did a lot of speaking engagements. I mean, this was just a giant part of your professional life for a long time.
It was, and in a totally unexpected way. In fact, the publishers didn't want this book initially, which is part of the fun for me looking back at it. So 6 major publishers in New York all passed. The book started off as a self-published book in 2003. And a year later, Simon & Schuster came back and said, we've been watching what's happening with this. Maybe we'd like another bite at the apple. And I had a wonderful relationship with them. I had worked with them before on another book. And so I was really happy about that. It's been great working with them. They reissued it in 2004 as a hardcover. And we've been going and growing ever since.
I love it. We don't want to give away the punchline, but just the synopsis and the idea behind Season of Life for people who are going to pick it up and maybe who come out on Sunday if they're not familiar with the book.
Well, it's kind of tricky in a way. So there's a football on the cover.
Yeah.
It's called Season of Life. We do go through a football season with a high school team in Baltimore, but it's really not a book about sports. It's a book about relationships. It's a book about building leaders, about building community. In its largest sense, it's really about teaching boys and men how to be men of substance and impact in this world, as opposed to all the other junk that they're being fed out there on a regular basis. So Joe Ehrman, the main character in this book, does an incredible job of teaching these high school boys what that's all about. He debunks for them what he refers to as false masculinity, and he leads them through a program so that they can all learn about what he calls strategic masculinity.
After reading Season of Life, kind of went down the Joe Ehrman rabbit hole a little bit. There's YouTube videos. There's so many amazing things where you can get sort of a sense for Joe and who he is. And obviously the book does an amazing job of that. But if you would briefly just go back and then tell the story of how you and Joe became acquainted.
Well, Joe is an incredible guy.
Yeah.
And much to my good fortune, I've known him since I was 11 years old. That was a long time ago for me. It was the summer of 1974, and I ended up being a ball boy for the Baltimore Colts, starting in the training camp that summer. And Joe was one of the star players on that team. In fact, there's another guy here from Louisiana who was one of the other star players. So Burt Jones was the quarterback, and Joe Ehrman was one of the top players on the defense, big old defensive lineman. Larger than life kind of 1970s party guy, but he went through a lot of changes in his life, and I knew him all through my college years, but then we went for 19 years for no reason, just life happens and you go in your own directions. And we reconnected in 2001 for a totally different project, and I learned about what he had been doing with his life, and that's when I chose to spend some time with him, learn more about it. Little did I know I would end up spending a whole high school football season with him, because he was a pastor of a large church in Baltimore at the time, 4,000 members, but on the side he was coaching high school football, and he was doing it only because he thought that was a perfect context in which to teach high school boys the messages that he wanted to share with them.
Yeah, he's pretty. Their team's really good too, obviously, but that's not, as you mentioned, the crux of the whole story. Right. For those in Jeff Marks' studio with us, so that brings us to Sunday. The event at the East Baton Rouge Parish Main Library on Goodwood, 3 o'clock. You very kindly invited me to come by and kind of, moderate's probably not the right word, but to have a conversation with you. What's, for people who can come out Sunday at 3 o'clock, what's it going to be like?
Well, I've never been part of this program before, so I can't tell you exactly, but I have my thoughts. I think I have an idea, and it's going to be, the program will start at 3 o'clock. And you and I will have a chance for about 45 minutes, my understanding, to have a conversation about the book, about being a writer. It doesn't have to be limited to Season of Life, although that's going to be the main focal point. And then we'll have a chance for Q&A as well. And as I said, this is the culmination of a 2-month program that they've been running, and it's been really neat. They've been doing this in book clubs. They've been doing it with a number of different events with other writers and authors at some of the library events as well. So we'll get to tie into some of those themes too, but I think we'll hit a lot on the contents of Season of Life, and it'll be fun to hear from the folks who have read it, because that's always the most interesting part to me. You know, funny thing about writing a book, the words on the pages never change, but people have their own takeaways. Yes. They're the same, but everyone's take is not. So I always love hearing from people on that. Let me also mention, Matt, and this will be a big part of our discussion, I think, on Sunday as well. So ultimately, this book becomes about a father and son story. And the whole message about building men for others and relationships, it really forces you internally if you're still a living, breathing, caring human being. It's hard to go through this process. For me, it was a whole season with them as an observer, but I became a participant. And ultimately, because of that participation, the story became a real father-son story as well.
Yeah, that's a very cool component of it. And having, I don't mean to speak personally, but obviously having met your dad as well, who, yeah, it's very cool. It's a very, very cool thing. So Sunday, 3 o'clock at the East Baton Rouge Parish Main Library on Goodwood. So our component will be about 45 minutes. Do we know how long entirely the people should plan to be at the library?
Right. So you can stay as long as you want, but our piece will be 45 minutes or so, and then 15 or 20 minutes of Q&A, and then they've set aside an hour for just kind of meet and greet and book signing and that type of thing. So make sure, Matt, that you're ready to meet a lot of people.
Sure.
And shake hands and smile for pictures and do all those things that you do. So I have made sure that Matt is going to be a huge part of this because he's been a huge part of my whole journey as a writer here in Louisiana, and I think it's really going to be neat to do this together.
I'm looking forward to it. Again, this Sunday at 3 p.m. At the East Baton Rouge Parish Library, the main library on Goodwood. There's the information right there if you're watching with us. If not, you can also go to, doggone it, I had the website in front of me.
ReadOneBook.org.
Thank you.
ReadOneBook.org.
I'm glad you had it. I was looking at it right in front of my face. I need to minimize that screen. There it is. ReadOneBook.org. ReadOneBook.org is where you can go to get the information. Anything else we got to mention?
You know, the only thing, Matt, is just to underscore what an incredible job the folks with the library system have done here in East Baton Rouge Parish. Mary Stein has been leading this. You and I had a chance to meet with Mary the other day. And just the energy and the dedication and what they bring to this program, it's been incredible for me. You know, you mentioned those early years with the book, and we did a lot of things like this around the country. But to do this where I live, this is my community now after a bunch of years here. And it's very special to me not only to participate, but to know what these folks at the library bring to this. It's just very, very impressive what they do. So shout out to Mary Stein and the whole staff there.
Even just you and I sitting down with Mary last week talking about how the events of Sunday will go forward. Just the thoughtfulness of even how they've gone about choosing the books over nearly 20 years that they choose to feature was pretty eye-opening.
Well, it was to me because when they contacted me about it, it was also a little bit curious. So I wanted to learn more about the program here, and I looked it up before I gave my yes, and I saw some of the early selections, The Great Gatsby,
Kill a Mockingbird,
Fahrenheit
451. I'm looking at the list right here.
A Lesson Before Dying, The Great Ernest Gaines. And it's pretty obvious to me if you really want to put this list together, and Season of Life is now part of it, and you want to ask the question, which one of you does not belong? I think that there's a pretty clear answer to that. So that's all the more reason why I'm really excited about this.
It's going to be a great day on Sunday. Hopefully you can come out and join us again. It's a totally free event at the library on Goodwood, 3 o'clock. Jeff and I will be there. Very much looking forward to being part of what will be a really good afternoon. So hopefully you can come out and join us and pick up Season of Life. Everywhere you get books, of course, Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
And free at all the libraries here in town as well.
You can read it at a library for free. It's a great plug. Thank you for that. Always looking out for me, Jeff Marks. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Matt.
It is our pleasure. It's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Former Tiger pitcher Chris Demouy joins us next here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. But most importantly right now, remember, Friday is the deadline. One of the very cool things in community engagement that Gordon does every year around graduation is he gives away 15 MacBook or laptops to graduating high school seniors that are going to a Louisiana college or trade school. So if that's your son or daughter, grandson, granddaughter, niece, nephew, friend, neighbor, make sure they know Friday is the deadline to enter. So go to gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com. That's where you can go to get all the information about how you can enter. Either a short essay or a video is how you enter, but you can get all the information there at gordonsgrads.com. Just another way that Gordon gives back to the communities that he served for more than 30 years. So, again, go to gordonsgrads.com to enter to win one of those free MacBooks for graduating high school seniors. You know what to do. Get Gordon. Get it done.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like Vans.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I didn't really have the right words, so I chose not to use any, and told him I'll text him tomorrow. Tomorrow's an off day just because of the schedule of what the plan is for Thursday, and there wasn't a whole lot to say right now that was going to make a positive. There will be, but that wasn't the right time. It would have no impact, and we need some impact, after a game like that.
Jay Johnson, after LSU got run-ruled by Northwestern State. Whatever you and I feel about that loss and where the team is right now, they feel it even more. Chris Demouy, former Tiger, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Demouy, how are you, man?
Doing good, man. How are you doing, Matt?
Really well. LSU's lost midweek games before. It happens to every team. What do you make of what transpired on Tuesday night?
I was there for a little while, and even through the rainouts. So I thought and baseball is a weird sport, right? You don't have rainouts in football; it's rare, or basketball. So sometimes momentum just shifts during rainouts, and I've seen it happen, several times. And it's one of those things. I thought if they played through the game, they win it. I thought Newt looked good early on, and I think LSU just goes into the confines of their clubhouse, which is amazing. And half those guys, let's be honest, half those guys on the team don't even know who Northwestern State is. And then you got guys on Northwestern who are from Santa Ma, who are from Ascension Catholic, who really care. And they look up and they're only down 2-0, and they feel really confident, right? Northwestern, they're hanging out with the fans, talking to mom, dad, girlfriends, and it wasn't great. They came out with no energy, and Northwestern State just put it to them, and they just never recovered. And The Jared Jones, that was a bit of a disaster at third. I think everybody could admit that. And you just move forward, right? In my opinion, not just because they lost that game, nothing they did last night will help them or prevent them from getting a regional. It's just you just kind of saw some of the same mistakes you've been seeing for the past couple months, and they just reared their ugly head once again.
You ever been through a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was on a team that got beat 28-2. So, yeah.
It's a little different, though, Demouy. I mean, that was a really good Alabama team. And anyway, finish your point.
No, you're right. So that one, but in '96 we lost to Dayton, and they dogpiled on our mound in front of us. Midweek game. And I think in '97 or '98 we actually lost Tuesday, Wednesday, back to back to Northwestern. Actually, funny thing. So, I mean, yeah, I've been there before, and it's look, I know the fans don't want to hear excuses, but these are 18 to 21-year-old kids. They're in their 40th game roughly of the season. And look, I mean, the next 4 SEC series are what really matter. So it hurts. The fans are aggravated. Jay is clearly aggravated. And, those guys will find a way to fix it. But it's, yeah, I've been there before, and it's not cool, while you're going through it. Not fun at all.
You, what do you think materially Demouy can they do between now and Friday to bounce back from that loss to get ready for Tennessee?
I just think it's a mentality shift. It's a mindset change. They know who's coming in. They know who's going to practice at Alec Box Thursday night. They know who they're going to face Friday and Liam Doyle. Like, they know. So for them, I think it's just a matter of kind of burn the tape, right? You learn from Tuesday. You move past it, but you got to definitely see some things from some of your big guns. They got to have more competitive at-bats. They have to do a better job of manufacturing runs, or else, the next couple of weekends are going to be really, really rough. So it's a mentality shift, and they just got to have, I think, just more of a sense of urgency, which I think they will. I mean, if they don't have a sense of urgency, then something's really wrong. But I just think it's a mentality shift, and I would be shocked if that doesn't happen this weekend.
Chris Demouy with us, former Tiger. The big issue on the mound this season, Demouy, has been at times the inability to throw strikes. Can you put your finger on what that is, man? Like, is that – I mean, guys are all very talented. What is that rooted in, Chris? I mean, something. There's got to be some explanation.
Yeah, no, it's funny. We actually talked about the same thing last time I was on your show like a month ago, and I've talked with it ad nauseum with several friends and in group chats. I think, yeah, they're overly talented, right? And I just think when you watch them, it's really good, then just bad, really good, and then it's rinse and repeat, right? You bring in the next guy, it's the same thing. So to me, it's just got to be focus and execution. I know people want to blame the pitch on the pitching coach. Remember, he didn't go out there and throw pitches. Obviously, I know whatever they do in the pitching lab I have no clue. But to me, it's just they take Maverick Rizzi, right? It looks like an All-American for 2 batters. Then he hits a lefty in the thigh. So he missed his spot by roughly 2 feet. Yeah. A guy squares the bunt, and the pitcher hits him in his shoulder. They didn't do this stuff in high school. They've been pitching their whole lives. So I think it's just focus and execution. And to me, that has to be what it's come down to, because it's not talent at all, and it's not stuff. It's just they lose focus and they lose concentration. They just can't execute at times, and honestly, that could be the end. That could ruin them in the end.
Former Tiger Chris Demouy is our guest. What would you do on Sunday?
TBA. I mean, I had a feeling you were going to ask this question, and I've been thinking about it. I think this is me. I do whatever I can to get 2 games, preferably the first 2, right? So you got 4 pitchers to get 2 games, and then on Sunday it's just TBA from here on out. Now, I'm trying to put myself inside Jay's head, which never works out, it seems like. But I mean, if you don't get the Anderson game, and for some reason you don't use a Callan or an Evans, then you potentially look at if one of those guys is left over and the series is 1-1, then I think you probably start that guy. And I mean, the way Evans is kind of stretched out this year, you could potentially start him and get 4 out of him. And I know the next 5 innings are flip a coin, but I mean, I think I'd rather potentially go into the fifth 0-0 as opposed to trying to bring in Evans and salvage a 3-0 deficit, you know? So that's what I would think I would do. If one of those guys is left over, it's 1-1, then you start them. And then otherwise you do what you did against Bama, right? It's just TBA and you just try to figure it out. But if you got two in your pocket, I know I'll take 10-5 for the second half of the season any day. I'll take that right now.
You're 10-5. I mean, you're a 20-10 team and you're a national seed. So
exactly. I don't care how you get to 10-5. Just and I think I agree with you 100%.
Well, you're a lefty. What were your thoughts on Connor Ware?
I don't know. I'm not going to badmouth him per se, even though I just kind of gave some names and examples, but that happened in the game last night. I don't know what to say. He's kind of the execution and focus guy once again, right? I mean, I saw the stats coming out of ball and saw the stats coming out of their winter scrimmages before they kicked off this year, and he was amazing. And he was dealing, and I thought he was going to be the third starter potentially. It's just he's that same guy. And you even saw it against DBU way back when they played that tournament this year. He'd go 3-0, then he'd throw 3 fastballs by people, right? Then he'd throw one to the backstop, then all of a sudden he'd throw 2 curveballs on the corner. So it's just, I don't know if it's mechanics. I think it's just a lot of concentration. And you know this, you've been doing this show long enough and talked to enough ex-players. It is tough to get used to playing with those 3 letters on your chest. And then you realize, there's a lot of pressure and expectations. And when you're not doing well, then it just kind of is a vicious cycle that puts more pressure and expectations on you. So I thought he would kind of figure it out by now, even going in SEC play. But sometimes it just takes people longer than others. And I think he's got great stuff. He's just got to somehow execute better. And I don't know Matt, because I don't know what, I just don't know what's going on with him. But I would love for him to turn it around.
And there are some really, like some of the smartest baseball people I know, Demouy, like literally like the smartest baseball people I know that were so high on Connor Ware coming into this year. Like saying he was the best arm on the team coming out of fall. I mean, like to see it not materialize, like it almost feels like if it ever clicks for him, it could be really good.
It's just so mental, not sorry to interrupt you, but
no.
It's just, I didn't go through necessarily what I can only assume what he's experiencing right now. And I think a lot of it's some loss of confidence, right? Now I experienced that in pro ball to where things are going good, and then you have a couple bad outings, and you start to question yourself, right? You start to really think a lot on the mound. You think about your mechanics. You think about where to let the ball go, and then, right? So then you walk somebody, and you're like, oh, here we go again. And then it's just like you can't get anything good to happen, right? Every little ground ball finds a hole. Every ball is a bloop. You throw a great pitch, and the kid fouls it off. And you're like, God, I got to do it again now. So it could be something like that to where it's just a little bit of a loss of confidence. He needs like 3 or 4 like really, really good dominant innings, or for, Milam to make a diving play and he gets out of a jam and it's a double, a diving grab and it's a double play, or somebody to get him out of a hole and he's like, I can do this. Yeah. I can have success at this level. And then now he's having positive thoughts out there. It could be something as simple as that,
I love baseball, man. It's because it's such a game that you have got to learn to deal with failure, because everybody fails. It's why I love the game. Okay, before you go, one more. You mentioned a bit ago some of the dudes kind of at the plate, kind of coming around. Give me a glimpse through a pitcher's lens, Demouy. Like, what do you see pitchers doing to attack this lineup that's allowing them to have so much success?
I think some guys are just slumping, right? And that happens in baseball, right? People go up and down. Fans don't want to hear that, right? But I think some of it is, look, Jay Johnson's approach to hitting, they're going to be patient and try to get your pitch count up and try to wear you down. And I thought about this the other day. If I was the opposing team, now I didn't listen to Curiel. This is going to sound bad after last night, and Curiel hits the first ball he sees out of the ballpark. But I would just, early in the count, I would just pound the zone with strikes down the middle. Break a ball down the middle, fastball down the middle, and I would try to get these guys behind in the count as soon as possible, because they just don't swing early in the game, because they want you to, they want the starter to be out by the 5th or the 6th, right? And I think some of that is you see some of that, and I think some of the big guys are slumping, like Jones and Milam and guys like that. They're just going through a rough period right now. But from an attacking standpoint, from a pitching standpoint, I think guys are just being more aggressive, opposing pitchers. They're just not as worried to throw strikes early in the count because that most of the time there's not going to be swing, so you can get more of the plate. You don't have to be as fine with your pitches if you know guys are going to be passive up there.
Yeah. He's Chris Demouy, former Tiger pitcher, national champion, does a great job and good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Demouy, we'll call on you again later in the year, man. Hopefully a better tenor than a run rule loss to Northwestern State. Thanks,
yeah,
man.
But everybody forget if they go 2 or 3 this weekend. So you got it, man.
You're right about that. Thanks, Demouy. That's
all right, brother.
That is Chris Demouy. It's after further review. Hey, I was having a convo earlier today with Chef Layton over at Supper Club. There's 2 things that are very important. Number 1, if you love stone crabs, I didn't even realize this. Stone crabs are 6-month seasonal. So the season ends on May 1st. I was talking to Chef Layton today. He was on the phone with their fishermen that they sourced from yesterday, and the stone crabs arrived at Supper Club today. So they don't. There is no like middleman source. They get direct. The crabs were in the water yesterday. They're at Supper Club today. So if you want stone crabs, you got to get them now because after May 1st, they're gone until October 15th. So get by Supper Club if you want these stone crabs. Some people love stone crabs. You want them, get them now because after May 1, the season ends. It doesn't start again until October 15th. That's 1. 2, Chef Layton also told me they got a cow from Sagrera today. I've explained this before. They buy the full cow and butcher it in-house there at Supper Club on Perkins Road. Like, it doesn't come to them already cut butchered. Like, they butcher it there in-house. And he told me this is maybe the best cow that they've ever gotten. So, like, the USDA grading scale for beef is based on IMF. That's intramuscular fat percentage. A 3 to 6 is called select. Like, that's what you'll get at, like, Outback. Not disparaging Outback, but that's like 3 to 6%. 6 to 9% is choice. 9% and above is prime. The cow they received today is 14%. It's off the charts. It is super prime, and it's raised locally in Ethel, 100% black Angus. Like, go to Supper Club and get one of the Sagrera cuts now. You'll be blown away. One of the best steaks you've ever had. It's right there, Supper Club on Perkins Road. Get your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. And remember, they are open for Mother's Day from 11 to 3. So get your reservations if you want to treat Mom to Supper Club this Mother's Day. They usually close on Sunday, but they're opening for Mother's Day. 11 to 3 is when they'll be seating. So check them out at supperclubbtr.com. Okay, it is after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition. We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Well, now I got a quick break. Muselab Tigers and the pros here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Basketball Tigers saw another player hit the transfer portal. We'll touch on that as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
You know, I was thinking about it yesterday because I had a really long day, man. My eyes popped open, about 5:30, did morning scone, had meetings all day, did AFR. Hunt's out, so I've actually been doing all the LSU written content for LouisianaSports.net. Had to watch the LSU baseball game last night. Had to do my Locked On show, the Locked On post game, and I wrote the Gamer. I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning, and like my eyes were still open, and I was rolling at 1 o'clock. Man, when the alarm went off this morning, boom, I was up, ready to attack the day. That's the kind of energy we had when we were younger. That's the kind of energy and the feeling and the vitality you can regain with hormone replacement therapy. Every single one of us, as we age, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. You want to regain that vitality? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. They can safely, affordably supplement you. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford is taking 15 to 20% off all new 2024 models in stock. 15 to 20% off all new 2024 Ford models on our lot. Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
This was a bit of a surprise on Wednesday, but Curtis Givens became the 7th LSU men's basketball player to enter the transfer portal. And I can tell you that whenever the portal opened and there was that initial wave, some of the conversations I had was that Givens was one of the ones they were expecting to return. So this is a surprise here as you get near the end of the portal window that Givens has now put his name in the portal. Pete Nakos was the one who originally had the report. So 7 players now from LSU in the portal. Givens is point guard, and it's disappointing because that's a guy who he was the number 10 point guard in the country. He was the number 61 overall player in the country coming out of Montverde. That's where, of course, Ben Simmons played. He was a 4-star member of the class. Now, he played in 32 games, but his contributions really were minimal. He averaged 4.8 points, 1.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists. Played about 18 minutes a game. So didn't have a massive freshman year. But again, it was a very bad season for LSU. But Givens becomes now the 7th player to enter the portal. Here was Matt McMahon back on February 23rd when Givens was starting to get a little more playing time as LSU was fighting it a good bit. Here's what McMahon said back in February about Givens.
His role's increased because of the defensive end of the floor. He's got good size and physicality there. He's really helping us, and now you're seeing him play with more confidence on the offensive end. Goes 4 assists, 0 turnovers tonight. Hits 3 threes. Would have liked to have been a higher percentage from the floor, but I think he's just making a lot of winning plays for us.
So you just start to do the numbers, right? You've got now 7 players that have gone in the portal, and you've added 5 transfers via the portal. You've added Markel Sutton from Omaha, Max McKinnon from Portland, Rashad King from Northeastern, DJ Thomas from UNLV, and then Michael Nwoko from Mississippi State. So you've added 5, remember, and then you've got the 3 freshman signees coming as well with Maisie Mosley, Jalen Reese, and Matt Gillul. So that's 8 coming in. You have 7 transfers going out, and then including the seniors as well who are done. But remember, the new scholarship rules will allow teams to go to 15, but it's pretty much a consensus around the conference that nobody is going to go to 15 because you still have revenue share. And the feeling is that's not a good or an efficient allocation of your funds, because if you have more players, it doesn't increase the amount of revenue share that you're going to have. So it just means you're distributing, everyone's getting a smaller piece of the pie. So the approach really is, okay, how do we build a roster that meets all of our needs to where we can still be competitive in the NIL or in the revenue share space without having to saturate what everybody's getting in revenue share. So that number is probably going to end up settling around 12, I would think. 11, 12. We'll see what that's going to be. But Curtis Givens was, as the portal opened, one that they were anticipating returning. So that's a little bit of a surprise today. We'll see if Matt McMahon and the Tigers add another player. I know one of the conversations I had not long ago was, they were looking at potentially adding another wing player, a 2 or a 3, someone that could help out in the wing. But now you're down a point guard with Curtis Givens hitting the portal. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Let Dr. Blake Williamson walk you through that process like he did with me more than a half decade ago already. It's the best money you could ever spend, the best decision that you'll ever make, to wake up in the morning and just be able to see. And you might say, Matt, I've been wearing glasses or contacts for so long. If you're tired of reaching for those readers, if you're tired of shoving contact lens in your eye, you're tired of squinting to see the crawl on the bottom or having to struggle to drive at night because you can't see, there is a solution. No matter your age or your refractive issue, Dr. Blake Williamson has a refractive procedure to help you see 20/20 without contacts or glasses. So call the Williamson Eye Center today, 924-2020, 924-2020. Set up that free consultation. That is not a sales pitch. It is just a fact-finding mission so you can get more information about what procedures are available for you. Start that process, 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com. Mickey Loomis met with reporters. We opened the show today for his pre-draft press conference. We opened the show today talking about the highlighter, really, which was the low light. Like when a reporter, he opened talking about the Derek Carr injury, and by talking about it, not really talking about it. And there was a reporter who said to Mickey Loomis that Carr, the injury is draft related, and this was Mickey's reply.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to answer any questions about Derek at this time.
It's just ridiculous. But because, of course, it's draft. I don't want to go down this path, but of course it's draft related. Like everything you do organizationally centers around the Derek Carr situation. Like to ignore that and being unwilling to answer a question because it's the pre-draft press conference is neglecting your duties as the general manager. Like, yes, people want and deserve answers to the most important question that's out there that you refuse to address at all. In any event, there was talk about the quarterback position, and in particular, the urgency at the position to get Kellen Moore, his guy. That's how it was asked. Like, is there urgency to draft a quarterback to get Kellen Moore, his guy?
Absolutely. There's always urgency about, it's just not that, you're citing that position, but there's urgency about that at every position. Is want to make sure we're getting players that the coaches want, that believe they can win with, regardless of whether they're here or not. We're always looking to provide them with the resources they need to be successful.
Where it is seemingly a foregone conclusion that the New Orleans Saints are going to select a quarterback somewhere in this draft. It would be one of the great upsets in this draft if the Saints don't pick a quarterback. And a lot of people say, well, why? Because you just drafted Spencer Rattler, and last year and the year before Jake Haener, and you've got those two guys. And I understand that, but you're also down your veteran quarterback seemingly for the year. And if Derek Carr is going to be missing the season, then you've got to replace him. And even when you thought you had Derek Carr, the Saints were still in the mix for a quarterback. So yes, I'm fully expecting they will take a quarterback somewhere in this draft. Where, I don't know what that's going to be, but I anticipate it will be, and Kellen Moore is going to have a pretty heavy say in that, wherever it'll be, as he should. All right, it is After Further Review. Glad you're aboard with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We've got a lot to get to still in hour number 3. If you want to get your feedback, thoughts in, you can. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show, so feel free to do it. We'll knock out our final break of hour number 2. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. Stick around.
After Further Review.
Y'all get on by and see our friends over at Rouse's. Remember, at Rouse's, they got your curbside pickup option. So if you're making groceries, punch up the Rouse's app, select your items, your personal shopper. We'll go pick them out for you. If you spend $35, it's a totally free service. You pull into one of the designated spaces, and boom, they'll bring it right out to you. They've also, by the way, had a crawfish price drop. Right now, only $2.99 a pound for boiled crawfish over at Rouse's. That's 11A to 7P every single day over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. We're in the heart of crawfish season. They are big and great and flavorful and delicious. You can pick them up at Rouse's. My parents on Easter actually went by and picked up some boiled crawfish from Rouse's. We used to boil them ourselves on Easter. Big family gathering now. Everything's kind of condensed a little bit. So my dad pops into Rouse's, picks up boiled crawfish. That's what they do on Easter. So you can grab some as well today at Rouse's. This feels like home.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Love telling you about Evermore. EVA-MOR. Drink Evermore. Great time to hydrate, y'all, when it's getting warmer outside. Remember, it's even more important to hydrate. So grab the great taste of Evermore. EVA-MOR. Available at great local retailers. You can buy individually or in bulk, retailers or online. You want to find a retailer near you, go to evermore.com. Hit the little drop-down menu. There's a Find a Store tab. Type in your zip code. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Even if you're in Moscona, Louisiana, it'll pop up. Tell you all the locations where you can buy Evermore. EVA-MOR. Natural artesian water. A rare alkaline source and delicious. Check it out at Evermore. EVA-MOR. Evermore.com. Muso. Tigres de los Pros. Nailed it.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Well, it wasn't a great night for the Tigers on the diamond in Baton Rouge on Tuesday. Same cannot be said for the Tigers in professional baseball. Let's start with the 2023 team, shall we? Tommy White. Tommy White, if you're wondering, is in a high A ball with the Lansing Lugnuts. He went 3 for 5 a night ago, playing third, had a 2-run homer mixed in there. That was his first homer of the season.
Oppo, by the way.
Of course it was. I mean, that's just what Tommy White does.
He's lost a bunch of weight. He cut his hair and shaved the beard.
I think he looks great.
It's weird.
I think he looks great, actually.
You know,
he's still got the chains.
You know what was also weird about this?
What was also weird about this?
So when he crosses home plate, he does his point up, clap thing, and he went to go take the helmet off because they would always tap batting helmets. And his teammate, he goes to tap helmets with his teammate. Watch, here it is. If you see him, watch. Here goes the thing, the clap, and he goes to go. Oh, no, you're not going to do that.
You're not going to do that.
He just got a high five. It was like that was muscle memory. It's like, oh, you're not going to do that.
He's still rocking the pink arm sleeve though, man. How about that?
And Tommy White's got a little bit of a bald spot creeping up there. You know what, man? I can certainly relate, friend, to be in your early 20s and got that toilet seat growing up there.
Jeez. So the 2-run homer, he also had his 6th double of the season and a single, 2 RBI. He also drew a walk. So Tommy White was on base 4 out of his 5 trips to the plate. He's off to a 266 start. Jordan Thompson, of course, member of the 2023 team.
Jordan!
He's with the Great Lake Loons in high A ball. 2 for 4. How about a grand slam? A little salami for JT in the 9th inning to just punctuate the win. So 4 RBI. His other hit was also a double. Double and a salami. Not a bad night for Thompson. He's off to a 241 start so far on the season. Continuing with the 2023 Tigers, Dylan Cruz. He had another home run on Tuesday night. Absolute missile to left center field. Little pull side power there for Cruz. 1 out of 4. That's now, 3 homers in his last 4 games?
That's pretty good.
For Dylan Cruz?
That's pretty good.
That's decent. He's starting to heat up. Really good to see.
Only matter of time, Ray. That's baseball.
Yeah. Tell me, what is it? You
could hit a ball 400 feet, it's an out. You could hit a ball 4 feet, and you get 4 feet, you get on base. But that's baseball.
That's baseball. Alex Bregman, not a member of the 2023 team, and not a former Catholic High Bear.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's
Honorary.
Not. That's how it works.
We claim him.
He went 2 for 5.
It's in the Geneva Convention.
He went 2 for. I watched the end of that movie the other night, actually, because of course I did. 2 for 5 for Bregman. Both of them doubles. The first one was a 2 RBI double that gave the Red Sox the lead. The second one was an RBI double that extended the lead. So 3 ribby on the night for Bregman. He's still above 300. Josh Smith. There you go. See, you should have just waited. He hit a home run last night. Also, I'm sorry, no, it was pull side for Smith. Two runs scored. He also walked. He's hitting 367.
Oh.
He's just awesome.
Oh,
I mean,
he's in 367 like in low A?
No, in the bigs.
Oh, he's in the bigs hitting 367.
Yeah. Don't snub him from the All-Star game again this year, you cowards. And Jaden Hill is back up with the Rockies.
A bit.
In the show. Inning last night. Did give up a run, but worked around the rest of the trouble. So hopefully good things on the horizon. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Of course, gents, thinking of popping the question, you can always go to the website. You'll see right there, top left, that first tab, engagement and bridal. Boom. Every different option that you could possibly need. Wedding bands, all the beautiful diamond rings, women's or men's wedding bands. You want to buy that diamond ring. If you're looking for the stone, loose diamonds, they've got it all for you. If they don't have what you're looking for, they'll find it at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, or they'll make it. Need something for mom or for graduation? No better place to go than Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all, online at lmfj.com. Great Mother's Day gift guide right there on the homepage of the website. For whatever your budget may be, you're sure to find something at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. I'm presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. And I got a quick break. When we come back, when old Gumsmack and Mickey met with reporters today, there was actually one smidge of news that he released about the fifth-year options for Chris Alave and Trevor Penning. That's next.
After Further Review.
If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Because, look, if you're going to, I don't know, if you're going to build a pool, maybe someone that's been building pools for more than 100 years, be a good idea. If you're thinking of buying land, why not call the lender that has done one thing since 1916? Help Louisianians buy land. That's First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. That's the website. FirstSouthLand.com. So many people that buy land already own land. So maybe you take some equity in your current property, roll it into your new property. If it's 100 acres in Mississippi, 200 acres in Texas for that hunting property, maybe 20 acres on the North Shore to build your family's dream home. FirstSouthLand.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the 2025 Jeep Compass Sport for only $23,995. $23,995 or 2025 Jeep Compass with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Parish Country construction and roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Doesn't look like the Celtics will have forward Jason Tatum on the floor for Game 2 of their NBA first-round playoff series tonight. He's doubtful versus Orlando with a bone bruise in his right wrist. Boston is up 1-0. A little more than 24 hours away from the start of the NFL draft, and one of the biggest questions remains, where will quarterback Shadur Sanders, who has received a great deal of criticism, be drafted? NFL Network draft analyst Lance Zierlein.
When you talk about Shadur, I think there's some average athletic and physical things at play, but it's the makeup and the intangibles, I think, that set him apart from Jackson Dart and some of the other quarterbacks. So for me, he's the only other true first-round caliber quarterback in this draft. And I do think he's going to go in the first, and I think he's going to be a Steeler.
Led Zierlein on Freddie and Harry. Steelers have the 21st pick. Avalanche captain Gabriel Landeskog could return for Game 3 of the NHL first-round playoff series against the Stars tonight, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN. He hasn't played in nearly 3 years because of a chronically injured right knee. That series is tied up at a game apiece.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive is here for all of life's needs, with protection for your home, auto, business, and more. From timely repairs to customizable coverages and payment options, we make it easy. See if you can save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah, drop a sheet of paper.
It's hump day.
Yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's draft eve. The day where gum-smacking Mickey takes center stage.
It's hump day.
And answers absolutely nothing.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
By the way, Shadur Sanders.
It's hump day.
Today at noon.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Over under on his draft position. 8.5.
It's hump day.
Shadur Sanders.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Over under of his draft position. Currently.
It's hump day.
21.5.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Probably a good thing he didn't go to Green Bay. Would have been a long wait.
It's hump day.
Allegedly.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Josh Edwards of CBS Sports was here in hour 1. Chris Demouy, former Tiger pitcher, was here in hour 2.
It's hump day.
Got an NFL assistant coach anonymously ripping Shadur Sanders.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
That's coming up. An all-time basketball legend retiring today.
It's hump day.
We'll pay tribute.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
In 25 minutes. All right, we got a lot to do. Let's get going. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. We always appreciate our friends at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. So Mickey Loomis took the podium. Wouldn't answer anything about Derek Carr. He did provide in his opening statement, this is what he said about Derek Carr. Hit it, Muse, number one.
Yeah, look, appreciate y'all being here. I understand that you've got a lot of questions about the draft, but first I want to hopefully answer the questions about Derek Carr. He does have an issue with his shoulder. We're hoping to get some resolution and clarity on that in the near future, and when we do, I'll report back to you. Otherwise, I don't have anything more to state about Derek, but I'm open to any pre-draft questions that you might have.
Okay. There were no less than a half dozen questions about Derek Carr in various capacities, and time and again, Mickey Loomis deflected those, refusing to answer. Sounded a lot like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. The one bit of news that Loomis was willing to share was about the fifth-year options for Chris Alave and Trevor Penning, both who are entering their fourth year in the league, meaning this is where you have to decide if you're going to exercise the fifth-year option for 2026, and Loomis shared that news.
Actually, I'll give you that. Here's the carrot. So we are going to exercise the option on Chris, and we're not going to exercise the option on Trevor, but that doesn't mean we don't love Trevor and expect him to be part of our team going forward.
How generous. Thank you for that carrot. Like, what are you talking about? This is some great gift that you answered a question about if you're picking up your former first-round pick's fifth-year option, you jackleg. Of course you're going to answer that question. Oh, thank you, Mighty Mick, for gracing us with an answer about if you're picking up Chris Alave and Trevor Penning's fifth-year option. I'll give you the carrot. Dude, we're just so far. It's like in the relationship when you're done. Like, you're still together, but you know you're done. And, like, everything that person does just annoys the hell out of you. And it's only a matter of time before it's a formal separation type thing. Like, that's where I am with Mickey Loomis. I was there with Dennis Allen as well. Like, everything he said and did just annoyed me. It's where I am with Loomis. Like, Mickey Loomis could go at the podium right now and say he's giving everybody $1 million. I'd probably find fault with him. Like, that's where I am with that dude. Just, why not $2 million? That's probably what I'd say. Anyway. But specifically with Penning and Alave, it is noteworthy as we look forward. So if you remember, one of the benefits of taking a player in the first round under the new CBA contract structure, where you have capped rookie contracts where there's slotted value, you also get the fifth-year option. So rookies that are drafted get 4-year deals, except first-rounders. The team has an option for a fifth year. The trade-off is the fifth year is more expensive. So, for example, Chris Alave, his fifth-year option is $15.493 million. So Chris Alave is going to make $15.493 million in 2025. In 2026, and exercising that fifth-year option. Trevor Penning, who was the 19th pick of the draft, his option would have been $16.6 million. Naturally, for a guy who missed the bulk of his first season in the NFL. In his second season, they tried to make him a left tackle. That was a disaster. His third season, he became a reliable starter at right tackle, although not a great starter. You're not going to invest $16 million in that player now. But you heard Mickey Loomis say it. Doesn't mean we don't love Trevor and want to be part of the organization. So that could still happen. And there is some history there. The New Orleans Saints did not exercise a fifth-year option on Peyton Turner. They didn't exercise a fifth-year option on Mark Ingram. They didn't exercise a fifth-year option on Stephon Anthony. This is an odd one, but if you remember Eli Apple, who was drafted by the Giants but then traded to the Saints, so the Saints took on his contract and had the option to pick up a fifth year on Eli Apple, which they did not do at that time. But in any event, there is some history there. But overwhelmingly, you do pick up your first-round pick's fifth-year option because generally those are players that are very competitive players, talented players, and guys that become starters for you. But Penning has been a bit more of a harder one to nail down. As a guy that's 6'7", 325, you look at his career so far, and it just hasn't gone the way that you typically anticipate a first-round pick going. As a rookie, he played in just 6 games, making 1 start. I remember he was having that training camp where he was getting fights every day, and I loved it, man. I loved the fact that dude came in as a rookie and was picking fights every day. Like, I wanted a guy with a mean streak. But then he got injured late in the preseason and missed the bulk of his rookie year, and then they tried to make him a left tackle. He played in 17 games. He started just 5 times. He was one of the worst in the NFL. And so last year, they drafted Taliesin Fuanga to be their left tackle. They kicked Penning over to right, and he ended up starting all 17 games in a year where your offensive line was a mash unit, where every other starter missed time. He was the only one that started all 17 games at his spot at right tackle. So the old saying, what's the best ability? Availability. Well, he was healthy, and he started every game for you at right tackle. I don't know that I ever see the day where Trevor Penning becomes an elite-level starter in the NFL, but I can also look at a guy that can be a starter in the NFL. And the best comp I can give you, if you're looking for the best-case scenario, it's John Stinchcomb. The Saints used a high second-round pick on John Stinchcomb. He was the 37th overall pick. So he was an early round 2 pick when they took him. And he only played in 6 games as a rookie, didn't start any. He played in 4 games in year 2 with no starts. And then in 2005, the Katrina year, he injured his knee and missed the whole season. So this was a guy that you drafted very highly, thinking he's going to be a starter. And through 3 seasons, he played in a total of 10 games with no starts through 3 years. And then in his 4th season, it clicked. And he never missed another start. Stinchcomb started every game from 2006 to 2010 when he retired. For 5 years he started. He had a Pro Bowl season mixed in there in 2009 when the Saints won the Super Bowl. Like, it can happen. The light maybe just comes on later for some guys. And the hope is, that's a high ceiling, but that's the hope for Trevor Penning. And I'm not telling you Penning's ever going to go to a Pro Bowl, but can he do what John Stinchcomb did and become a starter for a half decade, a very quality starting player in the NFL? Well, he's got the physicality and the ability to do it. It's why the Saints drafted him. If not, you could always kick him inside and play him at guard. That's a possibility as well. So Penning, they declined the 5th-year option, and that's the right decision. You're not going to pay him $16 million when he's a marginal starter in the NFL. So he'll go into free agency after this year, and hopefully you extend him and bring him back on a more manageable deal, or maybe it's something like what happens with Peyton Turner, where you realize it's a bust, and he goes and signs a deal somewhere else. Alave was a tough decision for a completely different reason. Chris Alave has been a very productive receiver when he's been available, but you have the concussion issue now that is a concern, not just about his availability for 17 games, but like his longevity as a player. Alave, as a rookie in 2022, played in 15 games, started 9 times, and had 1,000 yards. I mean, understand what I just said. He had a 1,000-yard season as a rookie with only 9 starts. He played in 15 games. He didn't play a full season, had 1,000 yards. Comes back in year 2 and goes over 1,100 yards, starting 11 times in the 16 games he played. So you're talking about a guy that when he's been available has been very productive. The problem has been the availability. It's the opposite of what we talked about with Penning this past year. I could be very high on Chris Olave's ability, and I am. I certainly think the Saints need a big-bodied receiver, which is something we've talked about, and they got to go get one in this draft class as a change of pace, but that doesn't mean you don't like Alave. He's undersized, but at 6 foot 187, he's sure-handed, catches the ball, and his first 2 seasons in the NFL was a 1,000-yard receiver. Now, he had 400 yards on the number in 2024, but he only played in 8 games. He missed 9 games this season because of the concussion issue. So he missed more than half the season. Can he stay healthy? What about the longevity when you're dealing with concussion issues? That's something that's certainly going to affect Alave potentially in his second contract. But picking up the 5th-year option for a guy that's a 1,000-yard receiver when he's on the field is the right decision to make. and you can't predict if he's going to be on the field. You get the best information you have about his concussion situation, hope that he stays healthy, and is a real asset for whoever is the starting quarterback for the Saints in 2025. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. You can email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Hey, y'all, Friday is the day. Friday is the day. We are giving away $10,000 at Parish Construction and Roofing. We're drawing the winner on Friday. If you want to enter, it's easy. All you got to do, sign up for a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. You'll see right there on the homepage, the $10,000 cash giveaway banner will pop up. There's a tab right there. If you want all the details, you can get it, parishbuilt.com. No purchase necessary. You don't have to buy anything from us. Literally, it's just sign up for a free, no-obligation inspection, and you're entered to win. Friday at 5 o'clock, we're drawing the name. So if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't signed up yet, get to parishbuilt.com to do it right now, parishbuilt.com. You see all the details right there for Parish Construction Roofing. By the way, yesterday with all that weather, there was a lot of hail that came through the area. I know Lafayette got smothered yesterday as well. So no matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, we will come to you, Parish Construction and Roofing. Do business with someone you know. That's me and Richard Tilley and Brian Terrio and Joe Morales and Trent Davis and our great crew and staff. We'd love to help you out. Go to parishbuilt.com and sign up to win $10,000 cash, part of our 10K giveaway at Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I got a lot I want to delve into, and I do have time. We were supposed to have Sean Salisbury today. My apologies for this. Sean had a late schedule change. He was supposed to be with us here in this hour, and I wanted to talk to him about the quarterbacks in this draft. Had a late schedule change, so Sean had to bail. But I do want to talk about the quarterbacks in the draft, notably what's happened here with Shadur Sanders. Josh Edwards was with us in hour number 1, and he didn't rule out the possibility of the Saints still drafting Shadur Sanders later in round 1. I want to circle back to that and let you hear what one anonymous coach said about Shadur, which is probably the most damning thing that I've seen, read, heard about Shadur so far throughout this draft process. So we'll jump into that as we continue. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com. You're in Miami. Great. Glow has a resource. Glow Resources Glow Resources has an office in Miami. Just words, Matt. Use them. Orlando. They got an office there. New Orleans got an office there. Houston got an office there. Glow Resources has offices all over, and they help businesses all over the country and all over the world. So you're an LSU alum, and you move to Atlanta or Austin or Houston or Dallas or New York or D.C. or Seattle or wherever it is that you live and work, and if you run a business and you need help finding the right people, Glow Resources, their corporate headquarters right here in Baton Rouge, but they've got offices all over the country, helping businesses all over the world find the right people for their jobs. Check them out online. Start right there at GLO for glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. Check them out online at glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford is taking 15 to 20% off all new 2024 models in stock. 15 to 20% off all new 2024 Ford models on our lot. Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
And keep an eye on this story out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to put this on your radar because this is something significant. So, there are reports, Brandon Marcello over at CBS and 24/7 has this report, that Arkansas is, the athletic director there at Arkansas, Hunter Yurachek, is encouraging their NIL collective to recoup the buyout from Madden Iamaleava. So just a very quick catch up on this. So Madden Iamaleava is Nico's brother. Had originally been committed to UCLA, flipped to Arkansas in 2024, signed with the Hogs, and now is transferring to UCLA with his brother. So both Nico and Madden Iamaleava will be at UCLA. Well, apparently Arkansas, in their collective, they have language in their contracts or in their NIL deals, these players, that would require players that leave to pay a 50% buyout. So you'd have to reimburse the collective 50% of the money that was paid out to you during the signing period. So while we don't know the number that Madden Iamaleava got from Arkansas, one of the things that in this report at CBS says that a four-star prospect in the 247 Sports rankings for payouts for quarterbacks of that stature fetch close to $500,000 during the winter signing period. Okay. That's not to say that's how much Madden Iamaleava got. It's something worth mentioning. I've told you this, that LSU signed Michael Van Buren from Mississippi State to be a backup, and the number I was told was mid-fours. Got about $450K. That's a hell of a payday for a guy to go be a backup. Good work if you can get it. So let's assume it's around that number, just using a ballpark, okay? Let's call it a mid-six-figure number. That means Madden Iamaleava would have to reimburse Arkansas about half that number. Let's call it $250,000 if they hold him to this. Now, I bring that up because this is a very interesting precedent potentially set. I know this. There's a lot of you going, yeah, they should have to pay it back. Kids getting all this money without doing anything, and then they just up and leave. They broke the contract. They should have to pay it back. Okay, I'm not telling you you're wrong for feeling that way, by the way. What I want to introduce is something I was told 4 years ago when NIL just started in July of 2021, when NIL went live. I remember this conversation so vividly. Was having a conversation with David Fleshman, an attorney in Baton Rouge at Brazil Saxe, who's done a lot of NIL law. You've heard Fleshman on the show a good amount of times. And one of the things he said when I talked about could they ever cap NIL deals, he told me lawsuits. He said it on our podcast, on the Rosters to Riches podcast. He said the lawsuits are already drafted. Anybody ever tries to cap NIL, lawsuits are going to be filed. Now you're seeing a lot of litigation around NIL. But one of the other things we talked about was that. Could you ever have a scenario where a school might sue the player or the collective would sue the player to recoup that money that was paid to them if they didn't live up to it or they left the school or whatever? And the thought then was, it's a dangerous precedent because while you may have legal ground to stand on, do you want to be the school that is suing your players? Is that the reputation you want? Because if you're the school that's filing lawsuits, taking legal action against your players for leaving, other programs are going to negative recruit you. They're going to say to that next recruit, do you really want to go there? Because if in a year from now, let's say the coach leaves, they're ticked at you, you don't play, it's not what you thought, you're homesick, whatever, and you leave, they're going to sue you to recoup half the money that they gave you. You really want to go there? That's the dangerous point. I can understand Hunter Yurachek, the Arkansas AD, feeling like he's defending his own and defending his program. I get it. But the dangerous precedent you're setting is saying, if you leave, we're suing you. Okay, you can do that, but that's going to make it even more difficult to get people to come to your school if you're going to sue them when they leave. Just file that away. I don't know what's going to happen in this situation, but I know, like I will tell you that the complete 180 of this, the way Texas, I don't know if it's still this way, just to be very candid. I don't know if it's still this way. But the way Texas A&M contracts with their NIL deals, their collective, were initially structured was that they were paid out month to month. And so there were players that left A&M, like say in the December window, that were continuing to get paid by A&M after they had already entered the portal because contractually they were paid month to month, and so they were going to be paid throughout the duration of that deal. One of them plays at LSU right now. Anyway, I'm just saying there are programs that have gone the complete 180 of that to say, not only are we not suing them, we're going to keep paying them to make sure we don't cross into some territory where people could negative recruit us. I understand there's different resources and different programs and things like that, but just file that away, and we'll watch the Madden Iamaleava story if Arkansas does actually pursue legal action against him to recoup their money. Look, we've seen on the flip side as well. I mean, we've seen the Jaden Rashada lawsuit with Florida and Billy Napier. I mean, it's all going to set precedent to see what happens as a result of all these things when teams or programs or schools or coaches or collectives pursue legal action. And we're all just learning as it goes along. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com with locations all over South Louisiana. You know where to find them. You can go to ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. I always encourage you that if you go to ShawBillsTire.com, they have the promotions tab at the top of the page. And when you click the promotions tab, you'll see every single dealer special that they have over at Shaw Bills. And I tell you all the time, they work to get you the best price possible on the best tires on the road. And they guarantee it. Buy tires at Shaw Bills, find them advertised somewhere cheaper. They'll refund you 125% of the difference. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Josh Edwards was here in hour number one, CBS Sports NFL draft analyst. And I asked him a scenario about the New Orleans Saints potentially taking a quarterback later in round one. Remember, the thing that Adam Schefter has kind of presented since Monday, which was the Saints are likely going to go defensive line at 9, but they've been making calls about trading up from number 40, either earlier in round 2 or back into the end of round 1, presumably to draft a quarterback. Now, we've all assumed that's Jackson Dart. Tyler Shuck's another one that's been mentioned. But I did mention to you as well just a bit ago that Shadur Sanders has seen his draft odds today plummet. So a lot of these guys have over-under where they're going to be picked. Earlier today for Shadur, it was, and this is, by the way, this was just updated at ESPN Bet. And you go look at any of the odds services you want. But I just saw this tweet up at ESPN Bet. So for Shadur, earlier today, like around lunchtime, his over-under where he was going to be drafted was 8.5. Would he go over under 8.5? Well, now it's at 21.5. So you've seen Shadur Sanders' draft odds plummet today, which means potentially he's a guy that could be sitting there at the end of round 1 in the 20s if the Saints wanted to come back in and draft Shadur Sanders, which is something Josh Edwards discussed in Hour 1 here today on AFR.
You know, he's still going to be taken probably in the first 32 picks. So even though he doesn't personally have a first-round grade for me, because it is a premium position, I think it is likely that he goes Thursday night, whether that's the Steelers or a team trades back up into the back end of the first round, potentially the Saints. You can't even rule that out. So I think that's where it becomes more of a possibility at this point.
So, I would love to know how you all would feel about it if the Saints did that. I've been transparent about this. Y'all know I'm always going to tell you how I feel. You're never going to leave this show wondering, I wonder what Scone thinks about that. Like, it's my job, is give you an opinion. I feel like I am very high on Shadur Sanders. Josh Edwards does not have a first-round grade on Shadur, as he just said. Mel Kiper has Shadur as the 5th highest-rated prospect on his board, ahead of Cam Ward, who he has 6th. So there's a big, wide variety and spectrum swing there on Shadur Sanders. And I think even if you're not okay with him at 9, are you more okay with him at 22? Whatever that number may be, later in round 1. This was interesting, though, and this was a piece at Yahoo that Chris Wick did. And he talked to what he only describes as a, quote, longtime NFL assistant coach. And this, quote, longtime NFL assistant coach said this of Shadur Sanders about his attitude, his body language, and performance during the team's formal interview. Quote, one longtime NFL assistant coach said his time with Sanders was, quote, the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is, he's not that good. That's a quote from an anonymous NFL assistant about Shadur Sanders. This is another one. This is from an NFC scouting director talking about Sanders' makeup, saying he's not a bad kid, but could be in for a culture shock in the NFL. Quote, when you hear all the anecdotal stories about the person, it's not that he's a bad kid. He's been so insulated. It's going to be a culture shock when he really learns how a locker room operates and how it really works inside a building. He's had so much input on the offensive game plan and who the coach is, and everything's been catered to him. When you walk in one of these NFL buildings, no one's going to give a bleep about that. No one cares who your dad is. You're going to have to end up fighting through some adversity. The plays aren't going to be called exactly what you want to run. Even last year with Colorado offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur, a lot of the mistakes he made was stuff that he just decided to call at the line of scrimmage himself. And there's no recourse of him making those decisions. Whereas in a real locker room, you make a couple of those decisions, you get your ass ripped so bad that you never want to do it again. Again, that's a longtime scouting director, NFC scouting director on Shadur. Now, for whatever it's worth, Deion Sanders replied to all of that in an interview with USA Today. He called it laughable. Quote, it's silly to us. Most of it is laughable. What I told him is son, what I've learned in my life is when it don't make sense, it's God, because some of this stuff is so stupid, it don't make sense. Okay. I don't have a strong feeling on that one way or another. I think a lot of times in the pre-draft process, stories get told. Some of them are true. Some of them are not. We learn in time. If you're criticizing body language or attitude, any of that stuff. What I know is I watch Colorado play a lot. I think Shadur is a really good offensive player. He got sacked more than any quarterback in the country in 2023, and you never saw him in a game put his offensive lineman on blast, ever. They took Colorado from 1 win to 4 wins to 9 wins, and he led the country in completion percentage. I think he's a really good player. Mel Kiper thinks he's a really good player. Josh Edwards doesn't have a first-round grade on him. He is as polarizing a player in this draft as you could possibly imagine. And I think he's going to be one of the linchpins in this draft that when that domino falls, it's going to set a lot of other wheels in motion at the quarterback position. So we'll keep an eye on Shadur Sanders and what may transpire. I would take him at 9. If the Saints take him at 9, I'd be good. It doesn't sound like they're going to. If they move back into round 1 to take him with a 20s pick, of course, I'd be good with that as well. We'll see how it all transpires starting on Thursday night. We, by the way, will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar for our 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Draft Watch Party. T-Bob Rivers will be there to kick it off. I'll be there as soon as I get back from Lafayette. By the way, shout out, I'll be at Tap Room in River Ranch for AFR on Thursday from 3 to 6. So if you're in Lafayette, you're in the 337, come hang out Tap Room River Ranch for AFR. But as soon as the show ends, I got to jet back to Baton Rouge for the Don Juan NFL Draft Watch Party. So come join us from 7 o'clock when the draft starts until it ends over at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center for our 104.5 ESPN NFL Draft Watch Party. Okay, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. I'm glad you're hanging out with us here. We'll continue on AFR.
AFR.
Next Friday, I got my friends from River City's 1 Hour Air coming out to the house. Got my preseason AC tune-up scheduled, something I do every single year, like an oil change for your car. You better do this. If I ask you the question, when was the last time you had your Home Central AC serviced? When did you have that standard maintenance? If you can't remember, it's time. And if you do it every year and you haven't done it yet, it's time. If you've already done it, then congrats. You're way ahead of the curve. But the bottom line is summer's coming. Your AC is going to work overtime to make sure that your home, your family are cool and comfortable throughout the summer months. Make sure that thing lasts. Don't let a very small issue become a very big, very expensive issue. And at River City's 1 Hour Air, they do excellent work. Mention the Moscona special. Just mention my name. They'll knock $25 off any system repair. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
The New Orleans Pelicans today hired the Wizards' Troy Weaver as the team's new vice president of their senior vice president of basketball operations. So he'll report to executive vice president of basketball operations, Joe Dumars. So Dumars was introduced on Tuesday. Weaver departs the Wizards. He was a consultant with them, so now he joins Joe Dumars' staff. He spent 4 years as the Pistons GM before he was relieved of his duties back in May 31st. He was hired as the GM in Detroit back in 2020, so getting the band back together, I guess, from those Pistons days. And while we're speaking of the Pelicans, a former New Orleans Pelican all-time great announced his retirement today. Oh, yeah. What a great excuse to play the greatest song of all time. I mean, has there ever been a better... Oh, man. When Jimmer Mania took over the world, scored a bajillion points a game at BYU. Played in the Olympics, a little 3-on-3 basketball in the Olympics last year in Paris.
You did?
Just for it.
So good.
He's the real King James. 50 games with the Pelicans back in the 14-15 season. Then he came back for 4 games in the 15-16 season. And then he went to the Knicks.
Should have never let him get out of town.
Yeah. And then he went to other pro leagues and played wherever. Banging threes. Scoring everywhere. Every game he ever played in his life, Muse, professionally, this was his walkout music. Did you know that?
I didn't
Every
know
time
that.
every team he was ever with, whenever they did introductions, like team introductions, go, and now, from Brigham Young. How tall is he? Wait, hang on. I'm looking for it. Here it is. Wait, hang on. I got it. 6'2", And now, at guard from BYU, Jimmer Fredette. Crank it up, yo!
Welcome to the Jimmer Show. Teach me how to Jimmer. Teach me how to Jimmer. Teach me how to Jimmer.
You know it's better than the song?
Nothing?
The music video.
Nah? The music video was good.
Yeah. Are you watching it over there?
I'm not. I picked a different one because they have that long intro on the music video.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the interest of time, I was like, let's just get straight to the song.
I don't know how these dudes from BYU put this together. You wouldn't think that they had enough swag wherewithal in Provo.
Why? What do you mean? Why not? What's wrong with Provo?
There's a bunch of white Mormons.
Yeah.
Taking a great hip-hop song and doing this with Jimmer Fredette. I mean, Superman sleeps in a Jimmer jersey.
That's fantastic.
I mean, dropping bars left and right. It's brilliant. I'm not even joking. We laugh about the Scott Stapp "Come On Marlins, Make Us Proud" song.
Yeah.
The T-Pain Miami Dolphins song. The anthem era. This one is legit awesome. I wish I had a teach me how to scone. I wish it worked.
Scone? Yeah, it didn't work.
Teach me how to scone. Sconer. There are people who call me Sconer.
There are.
Yeah, there are people who call me Sconer. Max Willie calls me Scony.
Scony.
Teach me how to Scony. Teach me how to Scony.
Better.
Teach me how to Sconer. Teach me how to Sconer. I need somebody to do that. Maybe AI can do that for me.
AI can absolutely
do
that for you. Yeah.
Can AI give me a version like I'll just type in Ask ChatGPT, hey, give me the words to teach me how to Sconer about me. Type in some info about me.
I bet it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the very beginning when they rhyme Jimmer with put it in the pot and let it simmer.
Let's ask a real expert. From the mean streets of Central, low riding in a Chevy S10 with his subwoofers left and right, Paul O'Neill. How do we feel about the Teach Me How to Jimmer song, Paul? You're the real expert here.
This is a banger.
Yeah, Paulie likes it.
It's good. Top notch.
What was that last part?
Top notch.
Oh, top notch. We just got 3 sentences from Paul that totaled 8 words.
8 words.
I just counted. 3 sentences, 8 words.
I mean, hey. Yeah, it's actually not good at all. I'm sorry. I was trying, Paul. I was like, he's got something working over there, but no.
Man doesn't speak much, but when he speaks, you better listen.
It's impactful.
Shout out, Jimmer. 36 years old.
Whole life
What
in front of him.
year was that? 2011 is when he made his NBA. He was in the 2011 draft. What a different world. Oh, my. 2011. Bro, that was before, for context, that draft in the summer of 2011, that would have been before Tyrann Mathieu was the Honey Badger. That's how long ago that was.
Now he feels a lot older than 36, doesn't he? I mean, man.
Shout out, Jim. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I didn't think that on the eve of the draft, in drive time, we'd be playing Teach Me How to Jimmer and looping it twice. But I don't care. I'm not sad. I'm not mad about it.
I don't think that's awesome.
So, sometimes we don't have we don't control the show. The show controls us. We don't control what content comes up every day.
Yeah, we don't control the news, right?
If an American legend like Jimmer Fredette decides he's going to retire the day before the draft, guess what we're talking about?
Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah. Maybe now he can go help Brandon Holly at Relief Windows. That's what he can do if he's looking for work. Measure Techs installers. They want pros. They want real pros at Relief Windows. That's what they do. The best of the best. People take a ton of pride in what they do. So when they're at your house, they treat it like it's theirs. That's the standard Brandon Holly expects from everybody who puts on that Relief Windows logo. ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. Talk about the entry doors. Those things will not warp. They're composite. They come finished in whatever color you want. Like the real test was in the Great Flood of 2016. There were people who had these doors, took them off the hinges, or rather, after all the flood, they didn't warp. You can take it off the hinge, throw it in a pond for 20 years, take it back, hang it right back on the door. It will not warp. Great products that will last and exceptional customer service. It's experience, quality, and service at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, final break of the show. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Jim, you'll be here for Otter Locks. Otter Locks are already posted up at LouisianaSports.net. If you want to give them free, you can always get them free there. Ooh, Otter will be at the draft party tomorrow night. You bet he's got action for tomorrow night. Can't wait to hear about it. All right, stick around. We'll wrap up with Otter next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Advanced Turnaround Group over at Action Industries. The Advanced Turnaround Group, of course, a subsidiary of Action Industries. Same great company. This is just their turnaround division. So we are into turnaround season now through about October. You know that good and well. The next time you have a turnaround coming around, let the Advanced Turnaround Group bid your job. Great local company, great local people, commitment to quality, safety, and exceptional customer experience. That's why they offer 24/7 emergency support for your turnaround job. They have specialty welding available. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group there at Action Industries, where at the Advanced Turnaround Group, these are people who have committed their professional lives to proficiency and efficiency in the turnaround space. They're not taking people from other part of the business and dumping them in turnarounds. So these are people that what they do is turnarounds. So next time you got a turnaround coming up, let the Advanced Turnaround Group bid your job over at Action Industries.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch you come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. Remember, visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contract. If you want to learn more about hormone replacement therapy, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. All right, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance. Now's the time to get that AC unit checked before it really gets hot. Normally $179, just $79 when you mention Otter Locks. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing good, Matt. Would be a little bit better if we could have gotten one more out as we feel last night. But, you know, it's out. That's how it goes sometimes. So
that's baseball.
That's baseball. That's baseball. Yes,
that's
indeed.
baseball, James.
That's what I told Hanny today. 10-run rule, midweek. That's baseball.
That's baseball, James. Oh, man. Shout out to Coach Kador, man. Legend.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My man. We'll be. He's done some Memorial Day shows with me before. We will be on doing a pairing show for Memorial Day. I think the rest of the crew will have off. I'm not sure.
Of course we will.
But anyway,
we won't be working.
We will be. We'll be working. It'll be live from the Queen. So, awesome. You know, no leisure involved in that show. So.
All right, what we got tonight?
All right, let's start off in basketball. Lowest total in the season in the NBA. This is when they play a little bit more defense in the postseason, a little intensity. I'm going under here. The unders have been the way to go. 10-3 now to the under with 2 out of 3 going under again last night. And this is under for a reason. Also, Tatum out, a little bit easier for Orlando to defend, who's one of the better defensive teams over the course of the regular season. So under 196, you're seeing some 196 and a half right now out there. So also, I liked Houston the first game. I lost that game on Sunday night, the last game. of the Easter weekend. But, man, you talk about the zigzag, how the line is built in. I mean, it's up to 4, Matt. I've got to take Golden State, who pretty much led gate to wire, was leading as much by 23. They got it down to 3. I'm taking them. 3 baseball games tonight, all pitching advantages that we have in these games tonight. Going to Cubbies, they've got a pitching advantage over the Dodgers tonight. Matthew Boyd has been very, very good, the lefty, for the Cubs this year. The Pirates, it's dangerous picking the Pirates without Paul Skeens. Their starters tonight, Haney, has been really good this year. And then later tonight, the last game, the A's at home in Sacramento against the Rangers. So A's, Cubs, Pirates in Major League Baseball, all around, giving and taking about 115, 120.
Where are you tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're at Sammy's Grill, the original, on Highland Road, just off of Starring.
Awesome. Then we'll see you at Don Juan for the draft party. Thank you,
Yes,
Otter.
indeed. Yes,
All
indeed.
right,
Thank
News
you.
Pauly,
Good
thanks. Have a great night. See you tomorrow 3.
AFR.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the 2025 Jeep Compass Sport for only $23,995. $23,995 or 2025 Jeep Compass with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.